Hello and welcome back to your C-Sharp programming course. In this lesson, we're going to be introducing you to variables and two data types, string and char. But you'll find out what those are in a moment. Now, before I introduce you to variables, I must tell you about data types. As it suggests, there are different types of data in programming. There are number data types and there are text data types. What we are learning in this video is text data types, two data types in particular. One is the string data type, which contains lengthy values of text. For example, sentences, paragraphs, even an entire book can be made into a string value. And the second, char, which is a shortening of character, can contain only one character of the text data type. This can be anything from a hashtag to a number to a letter, even white space, as long as it's a single character. Now let's talk about variables. Variables can come in different data types. And when we create a variable, we say what kind of data type is assigned to that variable, so other data types cannot be assigned to it as well. Of course, that's all just theory, so it's better to explain it with some practice. So let's create a variable now. We'll start with a string variable. Simply type in string and give your variable a name, such as name_str. The reason I give the variable this name is because it helps me understand what this string variable is about. For example, it is a variable that will contain a name, and the _str tells me that it is a string. So that way, if I encounter it later in a lengthy program, I can understand what the variable is used for and what data type it is assigned to it. And I close with a semicolon. It's as simple as that to create a variable and assign it a data type. But now we need to give it a value. To give it a value, we simply type in name_str again, equals, and for a string variable, we need to give a string data, and the way we do that is double quotation marks, and within those double quotation marks we write our string. And as I said before, you can put an entire book into a string variable. Simply paste that book between these two double quotation marks. But for now, let's just give it a simple line of text. Seeing as it is called name, I'm going to give a name such as John Smith. And once more, I end this line of code with a semicolon. And now I can call upon this variable anytime I want to. So let's say I create an output line, like so, and I put name_str between the parentheses. And now let's run the program with Control F5. And as you can see, it prints John Smith. It's that simple to create and use variables. But now let's simplify this creation of a variable by taking the value that we're assigning it and placing it within the same line as our creation. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here, and then I can take out this line as I've included it here. So we've just optimized our code somewhat and it does the same thing. So that is one data type and its variable. Let's say that we want to make this variable constant, so that way it cannot be changed later in the program, as this is a mistake that is often made by programmers when they're creating large applications. And it's easy to do. Simply just put name_str again, and we can give it a new line of text. Let's just say hello here, and close with a semicolon. What we are doing here is overwriting the value for this variable. When we run the code, it prints hello now instead of John Smith. But we want this value to remain constant so it doesn't get changed by accident. The way we can do this is simply adding const before the string. Const is constant, making the variable that follows constant, ensuring the value cannot be changed later in the program. As you can see here in the line below, name_string is underlined in red. This is because it is creating an error in the code. If we were to run our program, you'll notice that this says there's errors right now. And as you can see in the error log below, it tells us exactly what is happening. So let's take out this line of code to make sure our program works. Now that is one data type, let's talk about the other text data type, char. Now to create a char variable, it's as simple as a string variable. Type in char, give it a name just like before. I'm just going to call this character underscore ch equals. And now for a char variable, we must use single quotation marks instead of double quotation marks. So I'll just put a $sign here and follow it with a semicolon. And I can output this variable the same way, as you can see here. And just like with a string variable, as with any variable, we can make it constant by adding const beforehand. So that way we can't change the variable's value later in the program. Now with that said, these variables can work with each other. For example, let me adjust the string variable here. I'm just going to call it word underscore string. And I'm going to put programming between the double quotation marks and hashtag between the single quotation marks for the character variable. And I can print these together by simply making use of some operators. Operators being plus, minus, equals we've already used. We can add our string to this output, just like that. If I run the program, it prints hashtag programming. It's that simple to combine different values that we have collected in our program with other data. For example, I can add text in this output line as well. So I'll put double quotation marks, I am space, after the double quotation marks plus. And now when I run the program, it says I am hashtag programming. And there you have basic variables and text data types. In the next lesson, we'll be going over number data types and math functions. But before then, I do recommend that you complete the exercise in your workbook, as you'll learn a bit more code to work with these data types and variables. With that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.